Good evening, Mr. Magno. How are you doing?
Hi.
I wanted to begin off today with how do you teach someone that does not have the ears for listening to what you have to say? They're just not there.
Good question. But first I want to say Merry Christmas,
Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
whatever that means. Do you find that Christmas is a good time to think about your family, about your good friends?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. How are your parents doing?
Very well.
Good. Okay, would you mind repeating that question?
Yeah. How do you teach someone that does not have the ears for listening to what you have to say?
That's the big problem.
That's the big question.
The 85% out there, they know it all. So why should they listen to me? You see, listening to another, especially this kind of things that we are studying, means that you have to question, you have to think, you have to find out things about yourself. And most people are too lazy to do that. Now, I'm not saying that it's directly their fault. It's a chain of causation from being taught the way they have been taught in the schools, especially in the United States. I mean, it's a disgrace. So that is the answer. So there are things you can do. You can do like the rest of the 85%ers. You can be funny, say little jokes, and shake hands, and play their game. I don't do that.
So if this is someone you really care about, say it's a friend of yours or something like that, you have to just allow them to be where they are, and if they're ready to listen, they'll listen. If not, that's fine where they are, and you just let them be.
Somewhat so, yeah. Recently, I had an experience with one that I was trying to help, and he really needs help. And then he agreed to take a few classes. Then he started not following the agreement that we had. And he didn't come back anymore. And he really needed those classes. And they're just not ready. You can speak their language for a while, which means you have to come down to where they are and then move them up gradually. We learned that in personal magnetism, how to match the emotion. If a person is angry and you, let's say that you're a very productive person, you must come down to where they are, to anger, just make believe. and stay a little above and pull them up a little bit. You can do that a little bit. Um, Sometimes you have to do that. But only a master can do that, because if he can't master his own thing, he might come down to anger and stay there.
In the world that believes the way to get what we want is to struggle for it, we accomplish a lot more by simply releasing. Now, I know you do this in your teaching. How would you recommend someone do this?
I didn't quite understand the question.
Well, I'm talking about, this world is all about that you have to struggle in life, right?
Mhm.
And how we accomplish a lot more in life is by releasing. How would you recommend someone do this?
Releasing what?
Releasing what's holding us back, or releasing the lies that are in our way. Once we release all that, there's a new opening, How would you recommend someone do this?
I see what you mean by releasing. Well, we were brought up with lies, as you well know. And this is why the first course on the path of hidden knowledge is a review of your life. So we will eliminate as much as we can of those lies. And we use 4 methods. The first method is intelligent two-way communication. If a person is intelligent, we can do that. Second one is EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, which is a miraculous system of eliminating negative things, where you tap the certain nerves of your body. Then you have the regression. You can direct the person to go back in time and to look at that situation until he cleans up whatever lie he was into. And the last one is implementation of honesty with self and reality. Oh, we use also Dr. Nathaniel Brandon, the self-esteem question and answer thing. The question, I find him very, very good. I'm sorry he passed away recently.
Yeah. How often have we said that it is the way I am, or that is the way it is? What you're really saying is that it's what we believe to be true. For us, usually, what we believe is only someone else's opinion that we accepted and incorporated into our own belief system. What would you say to someone who believes that in a situation like this?
Well, if I understood you correctly, we pay too much attention to what other people say. In fact, most people are terrified of what others will think of them. That's a big, big lie. That's a real common lie. People really suffer from that. And what else? Help me here a little bit.
Yeah. So you have a certain belief, and you believe it's true, and usually it's due to someone else's opinion that you accept this belief
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
It's basically what we've been talking about.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go by everything is you. You have to go. Listen, truth is what you really believe. And how do you know it's a truth? The truth works. That's all. How do you know the truth? Well, it's the same today as it was 2,000 years ago. That's what the truth is. I know the sun will come out tomorrow. That's what the truth is. So we're little universes. We make too much of a big fuss about this lie that was created by religions that we are all very close together and we must care about the others more than we care about ourselves. Well, we should care about others. I mean, we can't help it. I mean, if I admire someone, I'm going to be close to that person. I admire him. But I can only admire to the extent that I admire myself. So, in my course, I teach people to love themselves dearly, and love their bodies. We have so much illness. You should see the emails I get every day about illness. Oh my God. And all because the medicos teach the people, the body is this and it's got full of germs and this and that. Ah. So we need to love ourselves and respect for ourselves. And to do that, you have to live a benevolent life. You can't go out and hurt others and take advantage of other people and take the last penny they've got and expect to tell the truth and have people believe you. They won't believe you. There's something in human nature that knows if something is true or not. For example, a great singer, great performer goes on stage. He might be very, very excellent. But inside of him, he's not real. He's not true. He's working out of an ego that he built up in order to fit society. Therefore, the audience doesn't go too much for it. And not to say that the audience is unaberrated. They may be an aberrated bunch. But even when they're aberrated, there's something in you that tells you the truth sometimes. Imagine what it will be like if you have dropped that ego and you simply are who you are. You get an answer to a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, some people, their part of their mind believes that they're not worthy of compliments or love. How do we come to the point that we truly love ourselves to the fullest degree of acceptance? Or how do we affirm that we love ourselves unconditionally?
Oh, you tell me that one.
Well, the first one I would have to say, that affirmations play a strong role in that, in affirming that you do love yourself and you accept yourself.
But they do help. I agree. But they're not going to do anything if you really don't like yourself.
Right.
So
well, you have to believe. You have to believe in it.
Well, it's more than belief, isn't it? To love yourself, huh?
You have to know it.
You have to know it. I mean, you really have to prove to yourself that you are a good person. You don't have any doubt about it. And now, because you don't have any doubt about it, when you speak, there is authority in your voice and others believe you. But you don't manufacture that authority because you have no need to. It's authority anyway. That's something for the colleges or something, authority. You just have to be who you are. And that's difficult to do because we were brought up all filled with lies, right?
Right.
Yeah. And one of them is what? What other people are going to think of me. What will they think? What will they say? Yeah. Oh my God! If they only knew all that sexual thing that I did when I was a kid. Oh my God! Give me a break.
Yeah. So, in closing, how could you leave this conversation with someone who's watching or listening who wants to be able to love themselves unconditionally? What would you say to that in closing?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, that's fine. Well, of course, first we have this course, and which makes it easier to confront all of our sins, what they call sins. Actually, there are very few sins, one or two maybe. And so when you begin to see that all of these sins, for example, are the products of what they told you were brought up with, automatically all of these sins start disappearing. And you start thinking, well, I'm not so bad after all. But you have to have somebody introduce this to you. And there were people in my life that introduced this idea to me, and they introduced me to it. So the first thing I would tell them is to study this material, and to be very first thing is to implement the square deal. Number one in the square deal is to implement honesty with self and reality. Unless you're honest, you can't tell whether you're being phony or not. The second one would be to ask yourself every day for a few minutes, just ask yourself, who am I, where did I come from, what am I doing here, where am I going? What is it about me? People don't care about that. They just want to make money. For what? So that's the thing. The third thing, of course, are the techniques that for more advanced people, like sentence completion, EFT, regression, things like that. And finally, number 4 would be purpose in life. If you really have a purpose, you will be happy because you can't help doing it. You're doing it because of love. But there are 7 principles that I use for you to discover your happiness. And you know what they are, you tell me. Number 1, or you forgot them.
One, love.
No,
Well,
the first one.
the first one in order. Personal power.
Well, that's number 3.
I don't know if I can say them in order.
So the first is, yeah, well, you have to go in order on these.
Right.
Because one comes after the other. One is more important than the other. In fact, if you run these down, the 7 ones, and you put a number in front of them, and that number represents the amount of havingness or not havingness, it will help you a great deal. For example, if you have a 9, that means you have a lot of that particular thing. If you have a 3, means you have a low score on that particular thing. So you would have to raise that score, and then you'd automatically be happy. And of course, when you're happy, you love yourself more. And if you spend a few years being happy, you love yourself. So those things are, number 1, health. Second one is purpose. Not necessarily purpose in life, but you have to have purpose in what you do. You have a purpose. What is your purpose? See? It's got to be a purpose. Then you have personal power. And personal power, this sounds bad because this is what the 85% is want. Power. Money power. But I'm not talking about that kind of power. That's phony power. I'm talking about personal power. A power that allows you to control the physical universe, or I rather use the word direct the physical universe, direct your body, direct other people when they need direction. See, that's personal power. Then after that comes love. After love comes, let's see, I'm forgetting now.
Number 5.
Number 5, am I on 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. Yeah, number 5 is what? You help me.
We said health. We said
Health.
personal purpose. We said personal power. Number 4, we said love.
Love, that's right.
So number 5
is wealth.
Wealth.
Then sex. And then the last one is a happy creativity in old age. Happy creativity in old age. So if you're prepared for those, you can actually, the listeners can uh, put a number in front of each thing. They can judge for themselves how high or how low they are in each one of these things. And the idea is to raise them all to a 10. And if you have a 10 or even a 9 or even an 8 on all of them, you're happy. And that happiness then leads to an acceptance of yourself, a love for yourself. And of course, you must not take advantage of others. You must lead an honest life and be good to others, always willing to give of yourself for others. You know, and that, my friend, is my answer.
Well, speaking of happy, I would like to wish you peace and happiness in this new year of 2015.
Okay, and my wish for you is make it go right.
All right. Okay.
All right, see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.